Yeah, let's get started. We're in a new age of viewer engagement these days. So we at YouTube think that there are three main ways to find what is good content, what is good for our platform. And first is that viewers define what's good. We live in an age where traditional media companies don't have as much power as they used to. The TV agencies, the media agencies, they still have power, but they're not the tastemakers like they once were back in the day. Everything had to kind of go through them. And through YouTube, TikTok, other platforms, creators have gotten so much power and really wield that effectively nowadays. And as they have more power, they also understand it way, way better. So creators are really the new tastemakers of content out there. They're really the ones who are pushing what is most effective and most popular today. And lastly, we'll talk a little bit about the impact that YouTube, as well as creators and good content, can have for brands. So first off, viewers define what's good. And what does that mean exactly? Like I was talking about, little media agencies, TV studios, those big wigs who have controlled so much money, press, TV audiences, they don't have as much power as they used to. The viewers and not the studios are calling the shots these days, so we have to really you all are the ones who are calling the shots today, not the media studios. You are really giving the feedback on what you want to see, and you have to understand what the consumer wants to see in order to show the best content to them and have the best chance of going viral, having effective media buys, and all of those things. So technology, creativity, more creators, more content, and more choice, and we really at YouTube think that creators drive our ecosystem, and they're the most effective product that you actually have. So story over structure. YouTube obviously has access to a ton of data, a ton of Google data, and what we found is that viewers say storytelling and a good story is 4x more important than the typical structure that you would think of for like a 30-minute long TV show or 45-minute, hour-long program. They don't care as much about that structure anymore. They just want the story to be told in a compelling way. That could be in a YouTube short, that could be in a 3-minute video, a 10-minute video, any of the lengths that you'll find on YouTube. As long as the story is compelling, they don't really care if the structure is, like that beginning, middle, end to a series or something like that. 4.2 times of people said it's more important to be that it isn't necessarily important to be made by an established media company. So while high quality content is really important, it doesn't have to have that like studio finish and feel that you would get from like an HBO or something like that. Obviously people still love that kind of content, but that's not what they come to YouTube, that's not what they come to social for. They want something that's well done, but really focuses more on that story aspect. So 4 main categories that a viewer says is most important to them. It's relevant to their lives, it teaches them something new, it's thoughtfully produced, and it makes them feel something. So I would imagine a lot of you probably use YouTube. How many of you have gone to YouTube to look up how to do something, how to fix something, raise hands? That's pretty much everyone. So YouTube is really kind of the best platform for learning in a lot of ways, and it's also a great platform for like sensorial content that's more personal. You really feel like on YouTube you know the creators as opposed to on network TV, other social platforms. You don't get that same connection, and users really value that, and that's really impactful for the videos you create, the videos your brands, whoever creates on the platform. So the framework that YouTube and Google has devised that we think gives you the best chance not only to go viral, but also to get the most out of your ad spend if you're running paid campaigns on YouTube or really any social media platform. This is the framework that will give you the best chance to get the most bang for your buck, but also drive the most organic views that you can possibly get. So we call it RISE, relevant, intellectual, sensorial, and emotional. Those are the 4 main buckets, and we'll talk a little bit about what each of those pillars mean, how some are actually more important than others, and how you can best incorporate it into the ads, the content that you're creating. So first is relevance. Obviously, people want to see things that are relevant to them. One of the biggest trends that we've seen in probably the past 10 years is the shift from monoculture and just being told like this is what you should watch, this is what you should consume, to a lot more niche verticals within what consumers are looking at. So like this, for example, beauty tutorials is a great example. Like back in the day, you wouldn't see a beauty tutorial or like those kinds of ads on TV of viewers say that good content is personal and relevant. So by creating that type of content, you're really putting yourself in the best position to appeal to the exact buyer, the exact audience, the exact user that you want to reach. Next is intellectual. So viewers want to take something away from content, they want to learn something, and again, that's why YouTube is such a great platform. It can teach you something from history, to how to fix something, to how to do your makeup, to how to play a sport. It runs the gamut of how-tos, instructional videos, things of that nature, and people want to learn something. They could want to learn something about your brand, they could want to learn something about a destination that they're traveling to that they wouldn't get access to without YouTube or without this type of video content. Viewers' thirst for intellectual goes beyond informative, and most people actually prefer learning in a visual way as opposed to, reading about it on a blog or a website, looking at a photo. Video is able to tell your story so much more impactfully than pretty much any other medium, and it's great for holding people's attention. The attention spans of people these days is just going down more and more, but with powerful video, you're able to hold that attention for a lot longer. 88% of viewers say good content is intellectually stimulating, so there's a really high response rate for something that's intellectual and engages with them on that level. Next is sensorial. So obviously people love content that appeals to the senses, they can feel good about, it really engages with them in audio, visual, so things around like actually picking the right audio for your video is super, super key and can make a really big difference in how it goes over with the different senses and responses for who you're reaching. Today's viewers place more value on stories that are well told and edited rather than the expensive production. So you can literally shoot something on your iPhone and that can go viral because it has a good story, it has a good message, it's more real. You don't need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars with, a video agency to shoot your content. That's still great and we of course still welcome it, but there is more of a play for that like authentic, homemade kind of feel, or even just like influencers make such good content on their phones. People have always loved this kind of content, and it is very much a shift from these expensive production studios to something a little more natural and organic. Lastly is emotional. So people want to see something that makes them feel good. 85% of users said that they want to watch content that makes them feel something. YouTube has this like across the board. They've got content that'll make you cry, make you laugh, make you, just feel a lot of different things. I've seen so many moving stories on people, creating their own businesses and starting from nothing, just bringing themselves up, and it's so interesting. You can just see people from all walks of life, and they really tell those emotional, compelling stories that you want to see. And travel is a great way to appeal to someone's emotions, to really tap into the emotions of a place, those feelings that you feel when you are traveling, and trying to give them that for the destination that you're going after. So I think emotional is probably like the most important of the four from my point of view, and really helps to tell those great stories you're trying to tell. So if we look at basically how people value these four things, emotional is valued as the most across the board, with sensorial being the least in terms of like effectiveness that it drives. So you think it goes from emotion to intellect to relevance to sensorial. So people really want content that taps into their emotions and engages them intellectually before they care about if it's necessarily 100% relevant to them or how good the production is, how sensorial it is. Those are the two things that you want to focus on when you're thinking about the content you're creating and how to really go viral. You want to appeal to people's emotions and appeal to their intellect and ability to learn something new. And how do we do this? So to me and to YouTube, creators are your best avenue for creating this type of content that hits all four of these buckets. Creators who have a pulse on who they're trying to reach, who follows them and what they want to see, and that is super impactful. It'll give you the best content, the most bang for your buck, and how you can really go viral is by working with a lot of these influencers or taking inspiration from what they've done and applying it to your channels, your own social. So, like I was saying, this is kind of where we're at today. The creator audience feedback loop is immediate. Creators get comments on all their content. They get feedback basically in real time from people who follow them saying, we love this content, it went viral, it got so many more views than their typical content. And if it's not going well, creators can take that feedback into account really, really easily. In the old days, studios would release something, they'd have to let it run, get mid-season feedback from the audience, and then recalibrate from there. So linear TV is very much at a disadvantage for what feedback they're getting. They might have a show come out, they won't know if it's successful until the season's wrapped and they've done their focus groups and market sessions afterwards. So YouTube gives you such a better chance to stay kind of real time in the know and be really interactive with your audience. The lines are blurring between TV production companies and YouTube creators. So Mr. Beast is a huge YouTube creator, hugely popular. And actually, if we look at his subscribers, he has more subscribers than the next 3 most popular ad-supported streaming services. So I won't name what those 3 are, you probably have an idea. But his subscriber count is insane. And if you think of advertising with him or using ads that run on his channel, you're able to reach such a broad audience at a more effective cost than you would with traditional media buying. 2 million YouTube creators generate income from their videos, and this is a really important point for us because YouTube is the best place for creators to monetize. YouTube is paid out more than any other social media platform, hence when you work with creators on YouTube, they're more incentivized to create the best content for you and for your brand than they would be on Instagram, TikTok, really any other platform, because they're going to get paid for it. Whether it just performed really well on their channel, performed really well on yours, that it is just like an extra incentive for them, which also helps you, whether you're having them help create a video, whether you're running on their channel and working with them directly. This is an example of a yoga video, which is kind of like a niche within YouTube. I don't think it'll play, which is fine, but it kind of just goes to demonstrate the point that, well, you know, if you are like a yoga retreat or your brand really closely aligns and falls within like the category of people who do yoga, this is the perfect place for you to advertise or work with on YouTube to get access to that audience. It will be relevant as well as intellectual, probably appeal to emotions and sensorial, so it kind of hits all the categories to have the most relevant content for you. And it's probably what you're most interested in, so the impact of brands. Viewers are the most engaged when watching the content and creators that they love. So going back to it, content is king, and creators do content the best. So at YouTube, we really think that merging these two, whether you work with them, hire them out, whether you take inspiration from them to create content for you that's relevant, emotional, all of those things, that's your best place. Not only going viral, to just being the most successful on the platform, whether it's to grow your following, to get more views, to try to get more leads on the platform. Keeping this in mind, as well as the Bryce framework, is really your best bet. So 80% of people say they're more open to advertising or branded content when it's relevant. If any of you, obviously a lot of you watch YouTube, obviously you see the ads. So that's my product that I directly work on. Any ad you get served, is more or less based on the products I work on. So I'm very well versed in like wanting to have your ads show up in the place that makes the most sense for you. So like happy to talk about that more offline. Obviously it's not going to necessarily the focus of this talk, but audience targeting, contextual targeting on YouTube are some of your most powerful tools to get your brand in front of the people that you want to. And this is just a look at how YouTube compares to the other main streaming platforms that you might advertise on or be interested on, or social media channels that you might be active on. So as you see, YouTube wins out in every category except sensorial. Streaming services do that the best, and that's largely because they have those huge, really expensive budgets to just create these like brand, TV shows, which look amazing, obviously. But people don't have the same intellectual relevance or emotional connection as they do YouTube, because you're able to get a lot closer to home and have ads, videos, creative that matches what they're looking for and what they'll emotionally respond to a lot better. And again, this is just a reminder of, in the viewer's mind, what they view as the most important. So emotions first, intellect, relevance, and then sensorial. Obviously, a plug for YouTube since I work for them. YouTube is the #1 video service that people say they would miss the most if it just went away tomorrow. And that's because of how many people it reaches. I think we have over 1.5 billion monthly active users, so a huge reach that you can get. And the amount of time that people spend on this platform is insane. I think the minimum watch time per month is around 30 minutes, and it can go anywhere from like hours and hours on end. So people really are bought into YouTube, and they connect with the content that they see there, which is why they stay so long and are on the platform so often. And just as a general recap, so viewers define what's good. Obviously there's more choice in terms of content than ever before. So people want to spend their time watching content that they do view as good. And YouTube is the best place for that, especially when you look at the price framework. It has the most relevant, emotional, sensorial, intellectual content that will really engage with any audience that you're trying to go after. Creators understand it best, so whether it be for your own social channels, I think, or your brands, I think engaging with creators or getting feedback from creators, getting help with the creation of videos, and taking inspiration from them will go a very long way in making your videos better and making them stand out to a wider audience. And it's all about the impact. So YouTube is the best place to get impact. You can reach hugely broad audiences for really great media buys. You can get a lot of really strong organic growth, especially on Shorts, which is our newest product. Tomorrow my talk goes more into like the future of social media, what Google and the other big social media companies are double downing on. And I'll talk a lot about Shorts, give a little bit of a guide on how to use Shorts best tomorrow. And for those of you who are trying to grow YouTube channels, get more subscribers, Shorts is the best way to do that. You can get such massive growth in such a